So, Seedance 2.5 has just dropped and I've had a little bit of time with it now, so I wanted to go through what's actually different about it compared to Seedance 2.0, because there's a few things in here that matter quite a lot if you're making AI content, especially AI OFM content. Quick context, if you haven't been following, Seedance came out back in Feb. That was the one everyone's been rinsing on IG. I'm sure you've seen many models using Seedance 2.0, but 2.5 got unveiled back in June and it's the direct follow-up to that. Everything I've generated in this video, I generated myself, obviously, and I'm going to be showing you multiple different use cases throughout this video. One thing before I get into it, if you're wondering what platform that we're using to generate this type of content, it's AI OFM. It's the most easiest platform, pretty self-explanatory. A good friend of ours made this platform, to be fully transparent. It is the best tool when it comes to AI OFM. It's literally in the name. You can employ your own agents on the platform and many more. Obviously, it uses API keys. You connect it to WaveSpeed. If you want $50 in free credits, click the link below. When you sign up, you're going to get a free $50 spend. Using Seedance 2.5, that stuff is a little bit expensive, but it is more than worth the money. So let's get into it. So with Seedance 2.0, you could only do 15-second generations. Now, let me just be completely honest. You don't really need much more than 15 seconds when it comes to Instagram Reels. But good thing about it is Seedance is uncensored, right? So I'm sure you can paint the picture. You can use it for other use cases and have longer videos. Now, you could do this with Seedance 2.0, but you'd have to do 15-second clips and then merge and then do another one and then do another one, do another. And it got a little bit messy. The lighting could be different. The model sometimes doesn't come out looking completely perfect. The scenes change. It's not fully consistent. So obviously being able to do a 30-second generation all in one go completely changes the game, especially for us guys over on Fanvue. The second thing is, this one I think is a little bit more interesting. Inside those 30 seconds, it's building separate shots. So what I mean by this is they can connect together, so you get like a full setup. So in short, that means there's just one generation with multiple shots inside of it. Seedance describe it as going from generating a clip to making a complete piece. That it did sound like they were just talking shit, but it is right. You can just literally make a complete masterpiece. Obviously, Seedance is mainly made for, you know, them nerdy filmmaker guys. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but people within that industry, you know, or even when you're running like ads for dropshipping and stuff, a lot of them are using it for that. So there's a couple things that we don't really need to worry about when it comes to AI OFM with this update. And I'll definitely decipher between the two and let you know what we're actually using it for. Another thing that's an absolute massive game changer for us guys in the AI OFM space is character consistency. Now, before you could only upload, I believe it was about 15 reference images. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but now you can upload 30 references in a single input of your model, plus video and audio references on top of that. So if your model has a custom voice, she's from a certain country, she's got a very niche voice, then obviously you can plug your 11 Labs into this and it's gonna sound exactly like the model. And you can also plug, you know, multiple video references. So if you've got a motion or you got the camera action that you kind of like for a certain video that you want to recreate, then it can cater more for that. And then along with them 30 reference images, you're going to keep character consistency a lot better, right? The thing that I found with 2.0, it was really good, but when it comes to like multi-scene shots, you know, we've been running a lot of skit content, so this is going to be really good when it comes to actually making working skits. So sometimes when the scene would cut, the model would kind of look off, she'd look a little bit different. That's not going to be the case now that we're using Seedance 2.5. So what you're seeing on screen here is that's the same character. It's 4 separate generations, not 4 shots from one clip. 4 different runs, same references going in. That wasn't really possible 6 months ago. And if you're building a model, that's basically the whole thing. Your page works or doesn't work based on whether people believe there's a consistent person there. So this is a fairly big deal because it's going to resonate with your audience a lot more and she's going to come across a lot more believable. If you've built out proper character sheets already, I'm talking face reference, body reference, and all your background sets, which is what we teach. We teach you to go away and go and get background. Then you've kind of got everything you need to use this. For example, if you wanted to make a skit of your model walking around the house, doing things, doing cleaning, whatever it was, you can input all of your references with all of the parts of the house that she lives in, and then obviously just prompt accordingly. So it's a pretty big deal when it comes to making more in-depth, higher quality videos. And you can only imagine with the uncensored version available on AI OFM, what you can actually do with this for your custom requests, right? The fourth thing is the realism, right? They specifically worked on the stuff that made AI video look fake. Skin texture, eyes, lighting, and color. Now here's two clips. On the left, you have 2.0, and on the right, you have 2.5. And here is a close-up, which is usually where it falls apart, which is usually where you can tell what's AI and what's not. And there is a clear, big difference with 2.0 and 2.5. So for the guys that are very OCD, and I know many of you in this space are very OCD with your content, then once again, this is a big game changer. One thing to note is failures. Now, seeing as this generation is a lot more expensive, ensure that you're being safe with your prompting. Now, I can't stress it enough. It is the most frustrating thing when you generate a video and you're using up credits, you're using up your own money, and they're coming out wrong. Now, inside the school, I'm going to be dropping a full prompt sheet and how I structure my prompts for skits, for knock jokes, for UGC talking videos. I'll be dropping a lot for free inside the school community. So if you click below and join, then you're gonna get complete access to that. Because the thing is if you're not prompting right, and I'll show you a real life example, your model can come out with like hands that are like going too fast. Maybe she's speaking too fast. Maybe the head movements, the eye movements can still look off. The thing that you need to remember with AI is you're not going to get it perfect every time. And the better you get at prompting, or the better that you get training Claude to prompt or training Grok to do your prompts for you, then the less mistakes that you're gonna make and the less money that you're gonna waste. Now, my honest take on this is for the guys that are just starting out, you can most definitely still get away with 2.0. Now, there is 4K available on the 2.5, and I have showcased the 4K on this video specifically, but I'm only showing you guys the maximum capabilities of Seedance 2.5. That is purely just for educational purposes. You can get away with 720p quality as long as your reference images are very, very strong. You're still going to be benefiting off of that character consistency. In terms of the 30-second video generations, once again, it's extremely expensive to generate a 30-second long video if you're using AIO.FM or even Higgsfield, or you're using any popular creator platform. They're not needed, okay? They're not really needed. You only would really need them in an uncensored context. And if you wanted to piece it together to make one big video, then cool, that's fine. But you don't really need it when it comes to marketing. It's most definitely not sustainable. It's way too expensive. And if you're someone like us who is knocking out 6 to 9 reels a day for one model across multiple accounts, even more than that at times, then it's most definitely not optimal. You can't afford to do that. If you're gonna mark that up at 9 videos a day, that's over $450 a day just on Reels, meaning you've got to return $450 a day minimum just to break even. And that's without paying any chatters or any VAs that are making that content. And that's without 0 mistakes. The biggest thing for me is definitely going to be the character consistency and upping the amount of reference images that you can use. In terms of one input, I think that's an absolute game changer. I think that helps out a lot, and definitely being able to add more audio into your clips as well, because it's going to allow you to use your 11 Labs voice too. In terms of the motion control on there, where you can use a video reference Also, that is absolutely great. But the thing is you can use Kling and the workflow that we have on AIO.fm, where it is just as good quality anyway. It's a custom built workflow. It allows you to input multiple different references on a Kling motion video, and the results are absolutely insane. So once again, there is still a cheaper alternative if you wanted to go over and use Kling. Personally, I really do like the multi-shot though, because when we're doing skits and we're doing stuff around the house for our model, or we're going to be doing different types of content that revolves around the model having multiple shots in the video, then that's also really, really big for us, especially as we have doubled down on doing skits type of content. AIO.fm is linked down below. Free $50 on sign up, so you can start cracking on and generating straight away. And we have a community down below, which has just had a full upgrade as well. Free update for everyone. We are always updating it, especially when there's new softwares just like this one out right now. And you can get exclusive access to all the tools that we are using inside of our community. Now, thank you for watching the video, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace out.